good, folks. We are about to get started. Everybody is connected. I think everybody's patched. So Jala, do you have any questions on your spells? You still picking them out for your druid?
No, I think I'm good. You know, I'm reading the descriptions as I go, so if I come across something I don't understand, I'll ask.
Okay.
And I'm almost done.
Okay. One thing I do want to make sure you guys have done is picked up all the equipment that you want before we get started. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and do so. Purchase your equipment. You'll have to manage your funds manually. Fantasy Grounds, at least this rule set, does not, automatically deduct the money that you spend on equipment. So, does anybody need to do that?
I'm square.
Daniel, you have all your gear?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. So I guess that's everybody then. We can go ahead and get started. So I kind of mentioned it last week when we first started that each one of you are from different areas or, of the countryside. Some of you were farmers. Some of you may have just been a poor family and your family sold you off into the military to so that they could provide for their family for a couple years. Don't know. It's up to you to decide what happened there. But for various reasons, you have heard that adventurers can make money by going to the border of the good lands and fight against the evil that's encroaching on, or trying to encroach on the land of the goodly people. One of those places is at a keep that's on the border, and you guys have paid your way on a caravan that is making its way to the keep, and just on the horizon you can see the beginnings of what looks like the keep itself. Just above the treetops a little, it's on this large hill, and you can see the walls sort of. It's still kind of a mile or two away, but you can see the outline of it in the clouds or near behind the clouds, and at that moment, you hear the caravan, the driver. He shouts, "Whoa!" and that you feel the wagon slow down and stop, and you hear the one of the other drivers that's with him jump off the front and come around to the back, and he says, "Hey, we need to get some of you guys to help us move this tree that's it's falling across the way so that we can finish up our trip here."
I'll get out.
I'll get out and help. Yeah, I'll get out.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So what I want to do this right. I'm messing with the layers and views and stuff on the mapping tool that I'm not familiar with at all yet. In fact, let me go ahead and put your tokens on there and we'll try it and see how it goes. Wow, the tokens are much bigger than they should be. Hold on a sec. I need to change the map scale. That should do it. Wow, the big green. You guys don't see it. Sorry. I'm going to share this map if I can figure out how to do that too. Layers, it's not it. View. Sync client view. That does not work. Huh. You can't do a share if you've got it. Have you done a share when you had the map blowing up as the background, Frankie?
I don't usually put it in the background because it doesn't let you unlock it.
Yeah, if you unlock it before that, though, it does. Alright, so I shared the map. You guys should see your tokens on the map. Let's see. Nope. There we go. Now we got line of sight too. Can you guys see the cart? The
Yep.
horses, the logs. You should have, when you select your token, I think what it'll do is it'll adjust your line of sight. Man, they need to soften those edges. Looks good?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so each one of you guys were going to jump out and help them move the log?
Yes.
Alright. So you guys jump out. You guys make your way to the... And I'll just move you guys over there. You don't have to move. Not locking tokens. If you don't like where you're at, you can certainly move yourself. You guys get over there and you start sizing up the thing. It looks... And you know, the tree looks really huge. And it looks like it's in this, you know, the icon I use for it is, it looks like it's almost like a dead one, but it's not. This one is like it's full. It's got branches and leaves and looks or actually it would be pine needles. You know, it's like a pine tree basically that's fallen over in front of the cart there. Not sure when. Wasn't whenever you guys were around because you didn't hear it. So how do you guys want to lift this?
Before I go and start lifting the tree, I want to scan the horizon and look around and see if I see anything suspicious, because anytime I see an obstacle across the road, I think ambush, something like that. So I want to look for anything moving in the tree line, anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. It'll take you a few moments to do that. Does anybody else want to do anything while he's kind of, you see him kind of start staring off and looking into the tree line and the, you know, behind the rocks and various other things off in the distance?
I'll go examine the tree and see if I can figure out the best way to move it.
Okay. So the first thing you notice, and Charles, give me a D6 in the tower, please. The first thing you notice, what is your character's name? Sephram? Sephram is your name?
Sephram Tanner, yep.
It reminds me of Sephram Cochrane from Star Trek. That's how I remember it. But so you start looking at the tree to see how best to move it, and you look down at the, you know, where the end of it is, that would be, you know, from the source where it grew, and you notice right off the bat that it looks like that this thing didn't fall naturally. It looks like there has been some chopping that occurred on the end where it fell off, you know, where, you know, fell from where it fell over.
I'll call out that this tree was chopped down and placed here.
Was it now? Alright, I'm gonna send beakers up my falcon and put him on guard, so if anything comes within 20 to 30 feet of us, he should let out a shriek.
Yeah, I'm going to get ready for imminent danger myself.
Okay.
And, I've somehow closed the map. Is there a way to bring that map back from
Go to records and images, and just whenever you look at the images themselves, on the bottom right there is a button that says filter by shrink, so you can click that. So that all you just list the shared, and then you can load it. Although you may only see that one thing there without that, but that's what you do. You can also double click on your token on your character sheet, and it should bring it up as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's not working.
But doing that other thing did?
No, I don't see what you're talking about, actually. I got the images window up.
Okay, so at the bottom right, where you would type in like a filter, to on the right side is a green button that says all. Click that.
Gotcha.
and then it should list. And that work for you?
Yeah, I brought it up.
All right. So, Finial, you were looking off into the distance, various, trees, and one of the things that you see just around the edge over here, you can see some movement in this direction. You can't tell what it is. It doesn't look like it's tall. It looks kind of short, maybe about your height. But there was some movement over in that direction behind the tree.
I'll let the party know.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the tree between myself and that, whatever that was.
So it was over here, and you guys are on the opposite side of the
I'm
tree.
gonna make sure I stay on that side. Then
Okay. 1 second, please.
I'm gonna get my short bow out too. I am a druid that can use a short bow.
You are a druid that can use a short bow. How's that possible?
It's the desert thing. Lets me use a short
Okay.
bow.
Good to know. Man, this whole lighting stuff is really weird for me. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. All right. So you've moved to put your position, make sure you're behind the log, maybe trying to find a good a spot to fire from in that direction. So what are the rest of you gentlemen doing? Werner, I've got you on the map. You're right there next to the cart behind the horses.
Well, I see other people on alert, so I'm just watching out before moving around. But I will move up like on the edge of this fallen tree here.
Okay, you can go ahead and put yourself where you want to. You know what? I'll go ahead and so you guys can see what the token locking looks like. I will activate that. So next time you guys move, you'll see it looks a little different. I think it looks a lot better. So anybody else want to take any actions right now?
Did Finial kind of call out the direction he saw something so we kind of know?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to focus kind of on that, try to get my bearings on what's out there, but not so focused I don't notice somebody coming out of these trees right beside me here.
Yeah, and now that they're all looking that way, I want to look the opposite way to see if anything's coming from behind us.
Alrighty. You are facing off in the direction that you guys came from. You don't see anything immediately off to the south. There's not that many trees. It's kind of an open area that you guys came up to. The trees kind of started getting much thicker as you guys are moving forward. And this spot right here is in fact the only place that is open, and it's why the road goes through it to go this direction. You could certainly have walked through, but the wagon wouldn't have made it. But right now, you don't see anything.
About how far is the keep? You said we could see part of it.
You think it's a mile and a half. You're not really sure. It's not it's not that far because you can see all. Like I said, when you guys were traveling through, when the trees broke off in the distance above the trees, you could see the mountain or the hill that the keep resided on, and you could kind of make out the walls. Mostly you just kind of saw the shadow off in the distance of it. And it's kind of in the, it's not, it's probably around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not dark, but it's kind of, a little cloudy, a little, not a sunny day.
Was there somebody driving the wagon? Or
Yeah,
were we
there's
driving the wagon?
the driver's on it. The assistant of his is on the ground. He's just kind of petting the horses and making sure that they're okay.
Yeah, I
Checking
would
their
encourage
straps.
him to maybe take the horses away from here a bit. I suspect there'd be foul play, so might be best to take the horses a bit away.
Okay. So the assistant, he's kind of a younger gentleman. He backs away, and the driver, the older guy, he nods. He kind of looks, anxiously around, and starts, having the horses walk backwards and pushing the cart. And about that time, off to the east side of the road, you hear like this chirping noise, and just two sharp little chirps, and then silence, and then you hear a single chirp off to the west.
Yep, I'll tell the wagon rider to make haste.
Okay, he is backing it up. Right now, I can't move that. It is a token, but it's on a different layer, and I don't want to break things right now. But he is attempting to start to back up. And I need... Werner, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Why don't you give me a D6 in the tower, please? Oh, well, doesn't matter. You don't see it. So, you can, as the cart driver starts backing up, he pulls the cart behind the trees that are in front of you, that are along this line. And just as the front wagon gets behind the trees, you guys hear a tunk tunk, and two arrows go flying. One of them narrowly misses him and hits the wagon behind him. The other one hits him dead in the chest, and he grabs a hold of his chest, and he just, reaches out to the gentleman, that, the little assistant, and then he falls over in the wagon. And you can see the horses immediately start making all kinds of racket. And with that, we'll go ahead and have everyone roll initiative, please. Alrighty. So looks like our guys are gonna do some things. I should have. And as soon as this thing peeks around the corner, he sees. Which one is standing? So there's two people behind there. And Seraphim, you're the tallest probably of all those guys. I know you're ducking behind it. So he's going to be at a disadvantage to hit you. Let's see, where is he? And I'll have to go back and get Werner, because actually Werner should have went first, but I missed him.
That's okay. I'll delay. I don't know what's going on. Werner doesn't know what's going on with the kobolds anyway, and I would be looking to see what's going on with the things out there. So I would have delayed anyway, so that's fine.
Guys, do not have... There we go. -7. Oh, yeah, cover. Yeah, that's one. It's not, and it is cover. Black. Alright, so. Alright, that was against. I'm trying to get to where I remember your name. So, Sephram. The direction that Finial initially indicated that he saw something moving You've been kind of eyeballing it, and just as Finial turns around and starts looking at the wagon, telling the guy to back up, you see this small creature step out from behind it, the tree over there, and has a short bow in his hands. He kneels behind that rock for cover and lets loose 2 arrows, and both of them hit the log straight in front of you. So you're fortunate for that.
Do I know what it is?
Give me a wisdom check, and we'll determine it from that. But you can do that out in the open. If you make it, you've encountered these, in your explorations. That's when you do a wisdom check, you double click your wisdom score on your character sheet. If you can just it'll calculate the differences and all that other stuff. Oh, yeah. You don't know a lot about them, but you know they're what it's called. You know it's called a kobold. They're these weaselly lizard creatures that tend to prey on the weak because they are preyed on by things like hobgoblins and other larger, older, bigger creatures. But they tend to travel in typically larger numbers normally.
All right, I'll call it out that there's a kobold in there, and where there's one, there's many.
Yeah, and I forgot to share this. Let me do that. That's what it looks like. Alrighty, so you guys saw that. And that was his action. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move Werner down. And then after the next kobold goes, it'll be Werner's turn. So, this one. Where am I? I've got him locked. How do you... Oh, wow, it's Alt. Don't know if I like that. This guy steps up out from behind the same tree that his buddy was up there in the north. All he can see is Nacillus, and he too has a short bow that he is going to use. And let me do the modifiers, because you have a little cover at least. That's definitely a miss. That's a miss. And next is Werner. You can hear your compatriots in the front. They holler, "Kobolds!" And you can see arrows striking the logs in front of them. And know that the buddy that was right there in the cart is falling over. He is clutching his chest. You can hear him wheezing. He's probably soon to leave this earth. Your cart driver.
I would like to jump up onto the cart and see if I can stanch his wounds, keep him from dying.
Well, you can certainly attempt to bind wounds on the guy, try to keep him from bleeding out. That is going to take your action, and what you do is you rip some cloth from the guy's shirt or something along those lines, and you hold pressure on it, and you're doing your best to staunch his wounds. Right now, doing what you're doing, it seems that it is at least slowed the breathing, or slowed the bleeding. He still kind of sounds like he's wheezing and having a hard time breathing.
Okay.
All right, Nacillus.
All right, I'll pull out my short bow and return fire on these little bastards.
Okay. Both of them have 50%. I think it's called. One second. I had that. I need to just leave the modifier window open. 50% concealment. Ooh, that's a 150-foot shot. You're using a short bow. You need to adjust for range.
Yep. modifier for ranges in here?
There's not an automatic modifier. You just need to. There is actually in the right side, not the buttons. There's a modifier long, medium range. I don't know what the range is specifically for the weapon you're using, so I suspect it's at least medium range.
Yeah, I don't remember what the penalty is off the top of my head.
Bring up the modifiers menu thing. Go to menus. Go to modifiers.
Yeah,
There's some quick buttons. All right,
Yeah.
and in the right side.
Yeah. I
Click
don't
the
have my
plus.
stuff loaded.
Oh, okay.
They're not there because I don't have anything loaded.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm on a. Give me a second here. I'll load them up. New computer. I don't have like any of my stuff loaded.
well, what you can do is instead of waiting for that to load, you can just do the concealment for now, and then I'll apply the -2 for medium, outside of short range on the fly.
I had hit it while you were talking, so we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, long range is -5. Goddamn.
And concealment, 50.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, go for it. You'll have to do it for each one of them when you do it too. Any of you other guys that are planning to do missile weapons, I would go ahead and bring up the modifiers menu as well.
You said concealment 50?
Yep. Let me look that up to make sure I'm doing that right, because I never can remember that. I'm gonna do it. Go ahead and do that.
Oh, yeah, some misses on this shit. All right, I missed.
What? That didn't help. Alright, 1 second. I'm reading something to make sure. Concealment is soft cover. Hide behind a couple bushes is concealment. Cover is more precisely hard cover. As it implies something a character can hide behind that will block a missile. Okay, so it's actually 50% cover for both of you guys. Because you guys, they're behind rocks and you guys are behind a giant log. So, in any case, both missed. Good to know. Alright, next guy is... Huh. You can't have multiple waypoints on NPCs? Oh, that's weird. So to get the, this is nothing you guys need to know. Werner is there. Actually, no. You went. Sorry, I'm moving various guys, so I'm still getting used to this thing.
So will this line of sight stuff show them to me when I can see them, or?
Yep, you shouldn't see them if you can't get line of sight. So,
Gotcha.
like Werner may see some that you don't, and Finio may see some that you don't. That kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
I think that's all my bad guys, and then Finio.
Okay, so at this point, I am going to. You said the driver got hit by an arrow, right?
Yes, and Werner's up there attempting to staunch his wounds.
Mm-hmm. And what's the assistant doing?
He is trying to keep the horses from trying to bolt and flip the cart over or the wagon over, and dodge bad guys or look for bad guys. He looks as scared as the horses are.
Okay. All right, I'll encourage. I'll tell Werner to get them under the wagon where they have some cover. And with that, do I see these kobolds that I can see on the map?
Which ones are you talking about?
Well, I see 4 and 12 and 3.
How is it? I bet you it's because. Can you see it now? 3?
I can't see 3. Now
Okay,
I can
yeah.
see 4 and 12.
The reason you could is because he was half in and out of it. So no, you can't see it, but some arrow fire came from that direction. All the rest
But
of them, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
I can see 4 and 12.
Yeah, you can see that there's one with 12, but you just he's behind the trees. You just know there's a shadow next to the other guy.
Okay, I will head that direction.
Okay.
So I have a move of 6. Does that mean I can move 6 squares?
60 feet.
Or 12 squares?
60 feet.
And so I can double move, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I want to get over here in this guy's face.
Alrighty. So you move more than half your move. You won't be able to do an attack, but you will next round.
Understood.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll let them know. I've got kobolds as I'm going. I've got kobolds over here that I'm engaging.
I wish.
Are we passing turn?
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I wish we had the sound effect from WoW. You remember when if you tap /charge as a dwarf? That's exactly what I hear in my head.
Oh, I forgot about Sirenscape. Dang it.
You can go ahead and get
Sorry,
it going
man.
while you're good. You can get it going for later. And we are on the log.
So I just click and drag my pointer like we used to? Work,
However it is you used to do it before should work now. Whether it actually does or not, I don't know because you'll have to tell me.
Yeah, I want to move to there.
Okay. Why doesn't it show me our distance? Okay, there it goes. So that's half your move. You get an attack at the end of it. Oh no, half your move is 30. Yeah, actually.
So these are 10-foot squares.
They are something foot squares. I don't know.
That's what they're saying because so these are giant horses.
It should be 5. I don't know why I changed that because I changed your token size. Now then, come on. They added a new thing. Hold on. Oh, yep. Gotta click that, and now they're 5 foot. So that's 30 feet. I'm not going to go retconning the other guys that have moved. We'll fix that next. We'll worry about it next round. But yeah, that's 30 feet for you, so you get an attack at the end of it. And thank you for pointing that out. I set that, and it didn't take. So.
Wilson, how do I'm logged into Sirenscape, but it says I'm in Winkler's game. How do I switch to your game?
You'll have to ask Rob.
I had to go to the website, Charles, and disconnect from Winkler's game and add Mike's game from there.
Okay.
I saw in the upper left-hand corner an invite from Mike, and I clicked on it, and it kicked me out of John's and put me in this one.
Do your damages, man. Oh, wow. Look at that. First kill of the game.
Heck yeah!
All right. And next is Sephram.
Okay, I'm going to engage Kobold number 5 with my short bow.
Okay. He is rushing forward as fast as he can. He's got looks like a weapon in his hand. I'm not sure if it's a club or what, but that's what he's doing. He has no cover, so you are free to let loose on him.
And that looks like it's short range?
Definitely. Yes, it's within 30 feet. I think that's short bow. I think actually, I don't know. You'd have to tell me what the range is on it because I don't remember off the top of my head, but
50,
it's within short for sure.
Yeah. So no modifiers then?
Nope. Straight up shoot him twice.
And just drop it on his token?
You can control left click his token, which I would suggest you do. Unless you're really good at that way you can see. Actually, for missiles, this is what I would do. What you just did. Select them so that you know what the range is. If you're in melee, you can drag and drop if you want to. Yeah, do that and double click and you're good. And we decided last week that we're going to use crits this time of the game. We didn't use them in TOE, but we're going to use it here. Wow, that was close to 20. On crits, you get max damage, and bad guys get the same. So go ahead and roll damage.
There you go.
Wow, took out another one. Look at that. You guys are professionals. I've missed that. You guys don't know how much I've missed that. Roll for initiative, please.
Great.
Do they get to hear that on the stream, Mike?
Oh yeah, they hear all the nonsense.
Is there any way I could get another invitation to the Sirenscape? Because I show you as a contact on there. I disconnected from Winkler's game, but it's not putting me in your game for whatever reason.
Sure, give me a second. While you guys roll initiative.
Do you not have a little box up there on the upper left, right under where it says Sirenscape, that says Celestian invited you?
In the player or on the website?
On the website's where I found it.
No, not under.
That's your. I sent you another link because it doesn't show you anymore. You must have dropped out or something. Whenever you were doing Winkler stuff. Hi. Everybody has rolled. Let me make sure. Okay. Looks like Werner's going first again with a 3.
All right.
What are you going to do, sir? Finial has hollered for... Tell him to get under cover, is basically what he said.
Okay, I had made a spell ready, but instead I'm going to do what Finial has said, and I'm going to try and get this wounded driver under the wagon, under cover of the wagon.
Okay. What is your strength?
14.
Okay. You easily are able to pull him off the bench on the front and drag him off to the side you're on, and you guys get up underneath behind the wheels as best you can. The wagon is moving kind of back and forth a little, but not that much. The horses are just rearing up and whinnying and making all kinds of racket, but they aren't scared enough to bolt. The little guy, the hand that's helping that's been helping the driver, he's in between the horses, standing between them, holding the harnesses, trying to calm them down. But he, other than his legs, he's probably out of, being shot from. But the creatures don't seem to be paying much attention to them. Only you guys that are shooting back.
Okay. So I'm under some kind of cover, I suppose.
Yes. So if they make an attack against you or the gentleman that's with you, they will be shooting through like 80 or 75% hard cover.
Great. Thank you.
And this guy. That is his. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Oh, there it goes. And since it's not a straight line, I'm not going to give him the charge, but he is ready to attack next round. This guy is going to move to there. That's his action. This one, since Finial is right there, I'm going to move the dead body down so I can get this guy out from the LOS stuff. He's going to target Winners and attack with his short sword and miss with a 6. All right, Saffron, what are you doing, sir?
Is there a penalty if I shoot that kobold?
Which one?
The one that just jumped up right next to me?
Well, technically he's still running at you. I mean, this, initiative is kind of, it's not very, like he did go before you, but he's running, like 60 feet, whereas you're just, but how about you give me a surprise check, which would be on at the top of your actions tab. Do a surprise check and add a modifier of -2 because you're facing off in the the northerly direction. So you're not surprised. So you can certainly spin around and get 2 shots off as he's rushing at you.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to do that then.
Okay, go for it. Why did my battle music stop?
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
On the actions tab, combat for both of my weapons, under attack it says -3 in red. Is it supposed to say that?
No. What you need to do is apply the proficiency to that weapon if you took proficiency with it.
How do I do that? I
Under
drug
your
them into the appropriate slot on the character sheet, but I must have missed something.
Yeah, you need to go to the skills tab and click on the short bow gear, and then check those 2 things. Check the short bow, and then you should be good. That may have been why you had like -7 previously.
Yep, I got you.
That your bow wasn't sighted for 75 yards. It was sighted for 150.
Yeah, this guy you don't need to make any range or any other modifiers. So first one misses, second one hits. D6. What's it gonna do? Oh! Took him out as he's rushing at you. Alright. Delog. One more kobold in front of you.
Yeah, we'll swing at him.
Go for it.
So that last kobold, he like hit the ground and slid with an arrow sticking out, right?
Yep. He just slid right up next to Saffron.
Very nice.
Going all Legolas over here.
Oh, that's it. I know he ain't gonna make it. I don't think he can survive your minimum damage. I didn't think so. All right, take out another one. And our next guy's like, oh shit. That's what he says in Kobold days. And you see him truck off into the woods. Where is his max move? Pew! He ran away. This guy sees his buddy dashing off into the woods. What is he gonna do? Well, he's gonna
Failed the route check.
He did it. But he does dash off into the brush. You don't know where he went. Benio Winters, what are you doing?
There's no more kobolds around me, right?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the wagon. Back to the other side of the wagon because I saw an arrow hit the driver and it came from the other direction. So I'm going to go to that direction now and make sure there's no threats over there.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself.
So do I see anything now, like any kobolds or anything?
No, you do not.
Okay, I'll stop right here.
It's a pretty quick animation there.
Yeah, it's a little fast on the client side. It's not so fast on the DM side. I played in Frankie's game on Friday, and it was kind of, really quick. I wonder if they can slow it down just a smidge so you can see a little bit of movement.
Yeah, in the old version, it kind of traced really nice.
Yeah. Alrighty. Nissilis.
Nissilis, yeah. I'm gonna shoulder my bow, and I'm gonna head down into the bushes down here. I assume these are, this is foliage down to the southeast, not trees.
This stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
that
large trees. Yeah.
All right.
Trees with
there.
brush and stuff underneath it.
All right, I'm gonna move up to there and try to hide.
Okay. If you have a hide and shadows check, do it in the tower, please. The rest of you, or all of you, go ahead and roll for initiative, please.
Mike, I can still see a Kobold number 1, is it?
Same here.
Yeah, it's because he's halfway in and halfway out. Now you probably can't. Yeah, it's because if they get like on a just a line of the thing, you can see it. All right, everybody has rolled. That guy's dead. Our first person to go is going to be Nissilis again. Nissilis, Syphilis. I will never remember that name, man. I'm telling you, you had a simple name last time.
It was the same name.
Okay. Maybe I hadn't drank as much wine then. I don't know.
Oh, making me jealous. Can I see this thing through the foliage or no? I can actually see it on my map, but okay, that's what I thought.
You shouldn't see it on the map because
I think
maybe
I'm
That
I'm
may be why.
inside the terrain.
So it lets you see everything. Yeah, I select you. You can just see through everything. I don't like that. It may be because this, I don't know what kind of, this may be a terrain blocker. I don't know what it is. This is a map that was part of one of the packages that came with the FGU
Yeah, the
Kickstarter.
terrains
So.
you want to do just like the outside of them. If you do the whole thing, you can see inside and outside, but not on the other side if you're outside. If that
Yeah.
makes
So
sense.
what I will say, I will go back on what I said. I will say you can see through the brush there is some movement over there. So if you were to fire through that, it would be like 90% cover or concealment because it's brush. It's not cover, which would be a tree.
Yeah, I'm not shooting. I'm actually drawing my swords and creeping up, trying to stay hidden. So I'm gonna very slowly move up in between these trees here a little further.
Okay. If you have a move silently, you can throw that in the tower as well.
I need to log out and log back in. I gotta get this mouse working. This fucking touchpad is driving me absolutely nuts.
I think they're useless. Okay, you move forward. That's as far as you wanted to go.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just, if something comes by me, I'm gonna chop it down.
Alrighty. We'll go to Finial.
Okay, at this point, I don't see any threats, correct?
Right.
All right, I'm going to rush over and see if I can't help with the driver that I saw take an arrow. I'm going to help heal him and make sure he's okay. So is he over by Werner?
Yep.
Okay, I'll move myself over to there. I want to get to where I'm right next to him.
Okay.
Right next to the person who's down.
Okay. You start assessing his wounds. It looks seriously wounded, and his face is getting very pale. His lips are turning blue. You can hear him wheezing very heavily. You think unless you call upon your who is your deity?
Paylor.
Paylor. You're almost certain that if you don't call upon Paylor to heal him, it probably won't last much longer.
Okay.
All right, Werner.
I'm just helping with the driver. See if we can keep him alive.
Alrighty. And the log.
Sorry, I had to step out away for just a sec. I'm back though.
You're fine. It is your turn, sir.
So I want to move up kind of north of here to see if I can see anything under these trees or just past them, because I know two of them came out of here. See if anything else is waiting up there.
Okay.
Right about there, through the trees a little bit, looking off in it, and then getting out to the edge and looking north.
All right, you make your way up to there. I'm gonna move you right there so you're not half in, half out.
Okay, cool.
But you don't see anything. In fact, on the map you'd see them, but from there you don't see anything right now. So. And next is Sephron.
I'm gonna stay right where I am and keep my eye looking down the road, making sure. Wait a minute, do I see that kobold?
If you see him,
Behind
you see
that
him.
rock?
Yeah. He moved there last round.
I'm gonna shoot at him.
Alrighty, 50% cover. And that is over medium range.
That
Somebody
is medium
posted
range,
those.
yeah.
So it'd be -2 in addition to cover 50%.
So hit the cover 50% button on the modifiers and then -2 down below?
There is if you look in the right side of all those options, one of them's missile fire, medium range. You can click the plus there once. And that'll add the -2 for you. And then just roll. You'll need to do that each time you roll an attack though. Alright, so the first one hit, second one missed. You might want to make, I don't know if that was a mistake, roll them both at once. Generally what you want to do is roll one, and if you get a crit, you'll get the bonus damage. But if you double roll like that, and the first one's a crit and the second one wasn't, it wouldn't automatically do it, and I would not.
Double clicked it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I figured. Alright, so the first one hit, go ahead and give me damage, and see if you can pin him in the head. Oh, that looks like a pin in the eyeball. Yep. And you attacked the wrong one, I think. Oops. I'll do it to the one you actually hit.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you had the other guy targeted, but that's fine. They both have the same armor class. Alrighty. And this guy, Nacillus, you see the one that was kind of in the behind the brush. You see him take a double take to the north, see his buddy get taken out, and he turns and hauls ass, following the other guy that ran off into the brush. We'll move out.
Well, it looks like the last one ran away. I'll yell out to these guys.
Dog, Nacillus. You guys gonna roll this? There we go. Man, I like your dice color on Nacillus. That's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, Nacillus, you get to go first. What are you gonna do, sir?
Well, I can't see anything, right? So
Nope.
just move up a little bit, and if I see something, I'll warn these guys. Otherwise, I'm just gonna try to stay hidden.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a hide in shadows check in the tower, please. Finial. Casting Cure Light Wounds on the fella.
Yes, I'll before I do, I'll tell Werner to go help the others. I tell him I'll take care of this man. He's going to require assistance from the gods, and with that, yes, I will cast Cure Light Wounds on him.
Okay. So what you do is you lay your hand on his chest, you wrap your other hand around the arrow, you pull it out as you're saying a prayer to Pelor. As you do, you can see the flesh begins to knit itself and the blood stops flowing, and eventually you can see that he's having an easier time breathing. He hasn't come out of unconsciousness yet, but he is breathing. His color is coming back to his face. His lips are looking less blue. So you think he'll make it. Alrighty, the log.
All right. I'm going to move up to there and survey what I see.
Survey
Hopefully
what you see.
Yeah, hopefully I'm in the square.
All right. It looks, for all you can see, you think it's clear. You don't see any other of the little mealy mouth little lizard dog men anywhere.
All right, since I don't see anything and I only moved half my move, can I just go ahead and like do half my move back? Start heading back?
Move back the way you came.
Yeah, basically back to where I started.
There you go.
Thank you.
And Sephram.
Is combat over then, essentially, since we don't see any more kobolds?
You don't see any, no.
I'm gonna search the kobold next to me. Try to recover
Alrighty.
my arrows.
Well, the arrows that you fired into him when you extract them, or at least one of them hit, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think you only shot one. When you pull it out, the tip breaks off. You know, you're like, oh well, that's broke. But you know, he's got a club in his hand. Well, he had a club in his hand that dropped to the ground when you speared him in the chest with your arrow, and he's wearing some kind of piecemeal looking pieces of leather and cloth as his armor. But you don't see anything of worth outside of those things on him. In fact, he looks pretty thin. Doesn't look very healthy, like he's not been getting a lot of nourishment.
I'm gonna make my way around to the other side of the log.
Okay, we'll get to that. Werner, you're still helping?
No, it looks like he's got it under control. I'm going to cast an armor spell on myself.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
It lasts quite a while.
Yeah, I think it lasts 24 hours or something like that. So
But
you can go ahead
target
and,
myself, then click cast. And then the
for
effect.
that one, you just click cast so that the memorized slot is used, and then put the effect on yourself. There you go. All good.
Great, thanks.
And with that, that is going to be the end of the round. I have ended combat, and I will unlock tokens so you guys can freely move about the cabin. You guys, those of you that are examining the bodies, they all are mostly the same. Two of them had short bows that are serviceable if you need them. They're not the best, but they're functional. And each one of them had 50 arrows. Not 50 arrows. Each one of them had 25 arrows, so 50 total. They didn't have any coins or money on them, but they had the only thing of value was the short bows and the arrows. Everything else was clubs, which were just branches fashioned into something to beat you over the head with, or the kneecaps with in this case.
I'm gonna snag 25 of those arrows.
Okay. Just go ahead and change the number of arrows in your inventory for that. What is Nacillus doing? Nacillus? Nacillus?
I'm sorry.
What you doing, bud?
Well, since there's nothing else out here, I'll just head back to the group and let them know that the last one ran off.
Okay. All right. So you guys make it back to the wagon. You still have the large tree that's fallen in the way. You guys can take some time to move it and get it out of the way far enough to where you can lead the horses past it and then continue on towards the keep if you so choose.
So did we see any markings on the kobolds that may show who they were affiliated with?
No, they seem to be wearing just a mix, a mash of various things. You know, one of them have worn a chainmail coif on his shoulder, you know, that covered most of his body, and another guy, you know, had pieces of leather, and another guy was wearing like a peasant man shirt with, you know, a rope tied, you know, as a belt. You know, they weren't wearing any kind of tabards or anything like that. Nothing very fancy at all. They seem very crude. You know, not surprising. I mean, you're kind of familiar with their kind, so you know they're not terribly bright. They generally don't organize very well on their own. They do get together in large numbers to ambush folks, but that's because they know they're weak.
How's our driver doing?
He's still unconscious, but he is breathing much more easily. You suspect he'll be fine, but he is, you know, it's not uncommon for somebody to take a while to wake back up after being shot in the chest.
So I'll ask the assistant if he's comfortable driving the rest of the way.
Yeah, he nods. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will help get the driver in the back of the wagon, and I'll stay by his side.
I'll help you with that.
Alrighty. What are the rest of you guys doing? You guys gonna pile back in the wagon and make your way back to town, or make your way to town actually, or to the keep actually?
Is this wagon covered or open?
It's got large, you know, sort of sides, but the back is just, you know, open. There is some boxes and crates, you know, some supplies that are going to the keep, but there is no cover over the top, no. But the sides are tall. I mean, the dwarf can't see over. I mean, he can see through the planks, but, you know, humans, elves, y'all guys can see over the top of the walls.
Well, my thought was just to keep an eye out, you know, at least one of us on each side as we drive to see if we see anything, trying to sneak up again, if they get bold and come after us while we're making our way on up to the keep.
Well, if you want the best visual position, it would be on the buckboard with the driver, and then have somebody on the back watch out if that's what you're wanting.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we can see it so we can react quick enough to if something does happen again.
Okay. So if you get somebody in the front and somebody in the back and kind of keeping an eyeball out, is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm assuming that Finial and Werner are going to be tending to the driver in the back, and then I can sit up next to the other dude.
Okay. Alrighty. You guys get everything back in order, get everybody in the wagon, take your watch positions, and you give the driver, the assistant driver, the nod, and he takes off. He seems to be going a little faster than your previous driver did. He seems to be a little bit more anxious, and smacks a couple of branches as he's going underneath the trees, but he is driving quickly to get to the keep. And about 30-40 minutes later, you guys see the trees break, and you see the keep itself up on the hill, sharp sort of cutbacks that lead up to it, probably about 100 feet tall to get up to it. So he's doing the cutbacks up to get to the drawbridge. The party has now arrived at the gates of the keep. You know what? Let me see if there is. I think I have an image somewhere for this. Where is it? Somewhere. I know there's an image for it. 1 second. Not very fancy, but figure I'll share it anyways. It's in the module. That's kind of the gate keeps, doors, drawbridge, portcullis, and all that jazz. You guys approach the gate, the door, the drawbridge is lowered, the portcullis is up. There are two guards out front who look like men at arms. One of them stays at the gate, the other approaches. he recognizes the driver, and he motions him to come in. Says, asks where is Cliff, and he says, and the kid that's driving, he says he's in the back. He got hurt on the way in. And so they motion you guys in. The cart wheels in. The men at arms at the gates, they're kind of eyeballing the cart, looking at it very intently, but they let you in. The guy rolls it into the just opposite side of the gate. A smaller person, child comes up, and I say child, he's probably around 10 years old. And the driver exchanges some words with him, and he sits there and holds the reins, or the wagon reins for him, and waits for you guys to disembark. And he says the tavern is take a right, take a left, take a right, and go. When you see the fountain, the tavern's right there. The inn is next to it if you need a space for the night. I would suggest you get some rest. And the kid begins to unload, pull out some of the crates, and a couple of gentlemen from one of the buildings nearby comes out and helps, and they start unloading some supplies. The keep itself, once you come in, the walls are about 20 feet tall, made of stone. You could see guards walking across them at various points. You can see some at the corners, and the I forget what they call those things where they have the walls built up where they can shoot through them. I forget what that's called, but you can see there's people behind there keeping watch. It seems pretty serious. Nobody, all the guards seem very, they're not jovial at all. They're pretty serious about their job. And you can as the wagon is being unloaded, you can see that they're actually getting ready to close the gates because it's getting close to the evening. At this point, you guys got here about 6:30, almost 7 o'clock, so they're starting to close up the keep itself for the evening. You can see some of the buildings have lights are starting to be lit up, and you can see them through the windows. Windows, not glass, just open windows. So what would you people like to do?
So what condition is our driver in now, or our former driver?
The driver is able to walk at this point. He is not sure what happened, other than he got shot. He can see there's a giant scar on his chest, but he doesn't know what happened. He's like asking questions of what happened whenever he blacked it out. But
well, I'm going to I'll let the party know that I'll meet them at the inn or at the tavern, but I'm going to get this guy to someplace safe. And in addition, if there's a guard close by, I'm going to let him know that we were ambushed by kobolds, however far back on the road. And I doubt they'd have the courage to attack a place like this, but you should still spread the word to keep an eye out for them. And with that, I'll escort
he says,
the driver.
Hold on. He waves at the other man at arms there, and he approaches and he says, "Go get Charles, and tell him to bring a scroll and a quill with him." And he doesn't tell you what's going on. He just says you need to wait, and eventually another scholarly person arrives, and you assume it's Charles. He's got a piece of what looks like some kind of scroll or parchment of some sort, and a plaque, of wood that's behind. He's laid on the top, and he's got a quill and an ink pot, and he says, "Okay, now repeat what you said to him."
Okay, I'll repeat the same thing, that we were attacked up the road. If it was a half mile or so, I'll tell him exactly how far I think it was.
Okay,
and
so
I'll tell him
he writes it all down. As you're saying it, he's like, "Okay, how many kobolds did you fight?"
The greater part of a dozen.
Okay, and did you kill any of them?
We killed at least 4.
4 of
that
them?
I saw.
Did you collect their ears?
I'll survey the party. I'm assuming they're paying attention, and I'll be like, "Did anybody think to grab an ear off of one of those things? I know I did."
Not. No.
No, we didn't. I thought about something, but I didn't think of that.
Oh,
I'm not
well,
doing very interested.
do you have any evidence that you killed any?
I don't have any evidence that we killed any, but you can see from this man's scar, and I'll point to the innkeeper that he was hit by an arrow, and I'd like to get him to the temple in case he needs any additional healing.
He says, well, next time you need to at least collect an ear. The left ear is the preferred. If they don't have it, a tail or something like that. And that goes for orcs and ogres and any other creature out there that is attacking us. You can bring back proof that you have killed one, and we'll pay you a bounty on them. Unfortunately, since you didn't bring anything back, we can't do that for the ones that you slew. But I'm sure that there will be some compensation for bringing the wagon driver back safely and healing him during your activities. And he asked for the names of all of your compatriots. He would like to note that in the log.
I'll provide him my name.
Okay. And the rest of them?
Sure, I'll give him my name.
Nacillus, not syphilis.
Not syphilis. Okay. And
It's a strange last name.
Does everybody give him your names?
Yeah, I tell him I'm Daylog Orhart, and he can corroborate the story as well with the assistant driver. He was very cool and collected, maintaining control of the horses while all this attack happened.
Okay. So he said he notes everybody's name down, make sure he gets the spelling correct. He says, all right. He scribbles on another small piece of parchment. He says, take this to the innkeeper, and he will give you a night's boarding, a food, a meal, and you'll be able to stay for the evening for at the pleasure of the keep's captain. Until you find work, which I would suggest you do quickly. We do not have much use of those that don't provide some sort of return at the keep. So, thank you for your service. And then he turns around, and the two soldiers go back, or the 2 men at arms go back to the gates, finish up closing them up, and Charles walks off and seems to go off into one of the buildings and closes the door behind him, and you guys are free to go where you need to go. And they did tell you where the inn and the tavern were as well. So.
I'm assuming the driver is familiar with this keep.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll ask him to point me in the direction of the place of healing that I can bring him for the remainder of his recovery.
He says there is a chapel, and he'll lead you to it. It's the keep itself is not huge. I mean, it's big. It's probably the biggest contained structure that any of you guys have seen. So for you, it's a pretty big city. You think it's a city. It's not, because you guys come from small towns. But in this case, it's not very far. He kind of leads you through the buildings. It's near the middle. There's like a central wall that runs through the middle. Beyond that wall is where the keep proper is, and the training area for the men at arms and whatnot. But the chapel itself is that text is black. I need to get that fixed. So he'll take you to lead you to the chapel, to where if that's what you're looking for. The chapel itself, it is the spiritual center of the keep. There is not. I mean, you can tell that there are multiple deities worshipped here. In general, it is. You assume that it's like any normal city where there's, the goodly gods are worshipped, and not so much the evil ones, unless you're in a bad town. But looking at the chapel itself, it seems to be a smaller version of what you had in your hometown, but it's well kept. It's very simple.
Okay. Well, once I get the driver there, I'll I'll look for an acolyte or some priest or something that attends the chapel,
Sure.
so that I can tell him.
There are actually 3 of them. 2 of them are doing something at the front of the chapel itself, but one of them opens the door as you guys approach and asks what he can do for you this evening.
I'll tell him that we were on our way to the keep and we were ambushed by kobolds, and this man was driving our wagon, and he took an arrow to the chest, and it was only by Pelor's saving grace that I was able to bring him back to the land of the living. And he's probably still a little disoriented from the attack because it wasn't long ago. So I was hoping you guys could allow him a place to rest here while he's monitored, just to make sure that there are no additional issues with his recovery. And I'll introduce myself as Finial Winters, priest of healing, a worshiper of Pelor, and I'll be in the keep for the foreseeable future. And I'd be happy to help the temple in any way. If you need me, I'll be at the inn. And with that, I will tell the driver on my way out that when you're saying your prayers tonight, make sure you say an extra one to Pelor, because it was only by his grace that you're standing here. And with that, I'll depart and head for the inn.
Okay. The acolyte thanks you profusely. He takes the gentleman. He seems to be very caring and has him sit on one of the nearby pews, and he kind of motions for one of the other acolytes, and they bring him some water and kind of just, they seem to be making sure he's okay, asking him questions and whatnot, and they seem to be caring for him as you turn and leave to go to the inn / tavern. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to the tavern. I need a drink.
Killing kobolds, thirsty work, man. Let's go.
I want to get my room that the guy was talking about. And then I don't really like it in the keep, so I'm gonna go find my room and hide in it, basically.
Okay. So we'll take care of you first. The directions that they gave you to go to the inn is it's just outside of the where the tavern itself is. I mean, as you're approaching, you can hear laughter and lots of people talking. You see the fountain that they mentioned as a landmark, to get to it. The tavern has the wooden sign hanging out that has a bed on it. The door is open. There's light is inside. Nice warm amber light coming out. As you approach, there's a gentleman sitting behind a table. He greets you and he says, "What can I do for you this evening?" And I presume you present him the little parchment that you guys were given.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And he says, okay. He takes that and looks at it, and he slips it into a box. He says, you and your party will be able to rest in room number 6. And he kind of points to where it is. He says it's a large room, big enough for the number that you had on the list. 5 or 6, I can't remember. 5. He says there are pallets in each room. If you need anything else, just ask. We will provide a meal in the central part of the inn here, and you can see there's large tables set up in here, and some other people are already starting to eat their evening meals. So if you want to eat before you go, you're welcome to do that. But they'll provide you with a meal with a glass of ale and bread and roast.
Okay, I'll make sure everybody in the party knows the right room and everything, and then I'm gonna eat.
Okay. And then the rest of you guys moved off to the tavern, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Yes, sir.
correct.
I'd like to keep an eye out for if there is anyone here that's a user of magic, potentially that I could learn from as we go along.
Okay. You haven't seen anybody that looks, nobody wearing a robe and walking with a staff and and have a long gray beard or anything like that yet. But I will make note of something that's more obvious if something happens like that. So
after
you guys,
a little while, I'll ask around, but for now, I'll just go to the inn with everybody else.
okay. So you guys make your way into the tavern. It's bustling with people. There's various, people are sitting at tables drinking and eating and, talking about various things. They all look to be fairly rough group. They don't look like the folks from your town that were farmers. These guys, every one of them looks to be a soldier or a youth that's in some kind of militia or, man at arms or something where they're not, the farmer types. Pretty burly, a lot of them, but some of them look even not human, maybe dwarves and elves or half elves and that kind of thing. But when you enter the tavern, you're greeted by the bartender or the barkeep, kind of an older gentleman, pretty big, bald. And he asks, he kind of motions over to one of the tables off in the corner and says, asks you what you guys would like. He says they have roast, they have, on tonight, and you can have some stew if you'd rather. And we have ale, beer, wine, honey mead. What would you guys like?
Honey mead and strips of meat for the bird.
The bird drinks mead? Awesome.
Strips of
That's
meat.
wild.
All right. Well, each drink, if you guys are getting ale, is that what I heard? Each of you that is getting a ale, it's going to cost you 2 silver. The meat will cost a silver for just the strips. That's not like a meal or anything. It's just like 5 strips of meat.
All right, I'll give him 4 silver. Really generous.
Okay. Rest of you gents. Anybody else? Why does my tavern music sound like too? Let's do that. Stop that. Play this.
This is at the tavern, correct?
Yes. Yep. You guys
Yeah, I'm
are
going to get an
okay.
ale.
Okay. That'll be a 2 silver.
I'm getting ale, and do they have anything just like a stew or anything to eat?
Yes, they have a soup stew. It's been cooking all day with this nice roasted joint. It's just excellent. I absolutely recommend it. And we'll bring a large warm piece of bread with it. That'll be a silver for the stew, if you would like that.
I would love that.
Okay.
I'd like some stew as well, and I'll talk to Werner and tell him, I made it all the way here and I've got no coin, but healing is thirsty work, and I was wondering if you might buy an ale for me, sir.
I'd be happy to buy an ale for you and the stew.
Alrighty. Each of you managed to get your drinks, get your food, and you guys are eating. You guys listen. You can kind of hear the hubbub of the tavern talk. If anybody wants to chat with somebody else, you're absolutely welcome to. But like I said, there's probably a good 10 to 15 other folks that come and go while you're eating your meal. The barkeep and his helpers are moving through the groups, giving them, refreshing their drinks and whatnot. But some of them are louder than others, and you can hear some of them. And those of you that want to listen certainly can.
Yeah, I kind of listen out for anything of note. Maybe people talking about adventuring in the area or things going on outside the keep, in the keep, that kind of stuff.
Alrighty, let me find. I know I have it. Where'd it go? There is and since this is one of the older adventures, they have these cool things. It's rumors table. Let me get my table up. So the first person that's listening to rumors is the log, right?
Yes.
Let's see if I can do this. How do you whisper somebody? It's by player, isn't it? Let's do this. That's the rumor that you overheard. Anybody else?
So I am, while I'm, talking with the party, I'm also going to scan the people in the bar and see if I see any dwarves, any of my kin in the end.
Okay. In the time it takes you to eat your meal, you don't. I mean, you guys have probably been there 20 minutes, and the bulk of everything, the people there all look human. There are some that you suspect to have the stinky elves because their ears are a little pointed. Maybe they're half elves. You're not entirely sure. But you did see a halfling. Looked like you first thought it was a kid. But then he went up to the barkeep. They exchanged words, and you got to look at his face, and you could tell it was a halfling. But he wasn't in very long. He had some verbal exchange, and some money changed hands, and he left with a package, and he was gone.
Okay, well I'll listen to what's going on around as well. See if I hear anything of importance.
Alrighty. So I will do you. Let's see. This is Finial. Oh. Rob, you can ignore that thing on the end of it.
Yeah, I was trying to find a way to tell you.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, I didn't realize I pasted that piece too. I didn't on Charles. So there you go, Charles. That's what you hear.
Got it.
Anybody else? Listening to other conversations or having a conversation with somebody that's there? You certainly can do that too.
I would like to survey the room and see if there are any other people I suspect of being druids.
So you are in the inn. You're not in the same place. Most of the people in the inn right now.
The same place.
No, I mean they're next door to each other, and it looks like the food goes to both places. So if the bar, the tavern gets food, it comes from the same place at the inn. It's all cooked in the inn. But no, your group is in a different place. And you had said that you were going to eat and then go to bed or go to your room.
Correct.
Is what it was. So
I just wanted to eat, and then while I'm eating, survey and see if I see anybody.
Right.
Who looks like a druid.
Right. So during your meal, you look around, and most of the people you see in the inn itself look to be people like the driver from your the kid, the assistant driver that was there. He's here. Various other look like merchants. Maybe they coming in, maybe bringing supplies or exchanging things, or but they don't look like the same types that are in the tavern, which you obviously can't see. Although there is a couple, but the most of them, the people here, they all look like humans. None of them look like dwarves or druids. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna retire.
I'm just gonna talk to Beakers and let him know what a good bird he is as I feed him strips of meat.
He seems happy. You get a couple of strange people that are not strange side eye, but they're just like they seem kind of curious about him. It's not like you get the impression they don't see very many people with a falcon or a hawk, or they're not sure what it is, but they're not very common, but it's not completely unheard of. Anybody else? All right. If you guys aren't going to do anything else for the evening, as the evening continues, less and less people in the tavern. You don't get the impression there's a huge amount of late night debauchery going on in the keep. In fact, the barkeep is looks like he has been cleaning the glass and he's getting everything done. He's kind of anxiously kind of looking off in your direction every now and then, kind of wondering. You get the impression you think he's wondering when you guys are going to leave.
No debauchery.
Nope. Like I said, everybody here is pretty serious. I mean, the tavern is the place that you've seen the least amount of, as soon as the guys walk out the door, it's almost like they turn into Serious Sam. They're not joking. Shit is real outside.
All right, well, I'll retire to my room as well, I suppose, since this guy's giving me the eye.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to imply that he's being mean to or rude to you guys. You get the impression he's, if it was modern times, he'd be looking at his watch and kind of, looking at you guys every now and then, trying to plot out what he's going to tell his wife.
Yeah, I get it. We're the assholes that show up at closing time.
Yeah. If nobody, go ahead, sir.
I was going to finish the ale up and I'll head over to the inn and find out where our room is and see if we can still get some food over there because it's supposed to be included, right?
Yes. Although the kitchen itself is closed, they can provide you with some bread and a bowl of soup that's sitting on the a stew that's cooking on the fire. In the fireplace there's a giant cauldron that's just bubbling, that's been cooking, and they just kind of point at the bowls, and he gives you a large chunk of bread and fills up a mug with an ale and sends you on your way. But there's no people to serve you at this point.
Right, no, that's cool. I'll sit down by the fire for a minute and kind of eat that bowl of stew and bread and ale, and then head on up.
Okay. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying not to sneeze on the mic. I need a sneeze button. There it went. Sorry. All right. Okay, so everybody, I presume, is going to finish up their meals, their drinks, get some rest, and sleep.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep.
All right. So the next day, you guys wake up rested. If you need to memorize spells, I will actually do that. If you're going to change your spells, does anybody need to change their spell slots, or are we good?
Just need to restore it.
Okay, I'll do that. Don't worry about it. I should have done it. So you guys wake up in the morning. You hear the chickens making all kinds of racket outside. The inn is bustling downstairs, or not downstairs. There's no stairs. The inn is bustling when you guys leave your rooms. It looks like they're serving breakfast, which is again large pieces of bread, some cured meats, and looks like some kind of eggs, but doesn't look like chicken eggs. It looks like some kind of weird egg. And when you ask about it, it's like, oh, this is an owlbear egg that we got from one of the guys that didn't make it out, but he survived long enough to bring back this and some other things from the caves over to up to the northeast, up the street. What am I saying? Up the road. Good Lord.
I'll ask him. Tell us about these caves.
Like, you haven't heard about the caves? That's why everybody comes up here, is to try to flush out all the evil creatures in there, and so we can expand the empire. That's why we're all here. Have you not tried to sign up and get paid to go out there and see if you can help clear them out?
We just got here last night, but are you saying the empire wants to expand into the caves?
No, we want to expand the lands, and we can't do that with all the evil creatures that are in the caves. We got to get, I heard these kobolds attack one of our wagons coming in, those kind of things. We got to stop that. We got to clean them out. Kill them all.
So you're
Ain't
saying
no
that
good kobolds.
caves are the only source of evil in this area?
Well, it's a major source. There is the caves up there. There's like this whole hillside is just got, 6, 12, 18 caves all up and down it, very creatures and different ones. There's supposed to be orcs up there and kobolds and goblins and all kind of other things, and owlbears because, breakfast, owlbear egg.
Thank you for the information.
Absolutely. You should talk to the captain.
Here in yeah. That's what I was about to ask him, if there was anybody in town that coordinated the efforts into the caves.
Well, it's pretty simple. He kind of points out to the sign outside that tells you, it shows the bounty on each type of creature. But he says, Captain Black, if you need to talk to him, he can kind of get you set on your directions, and they'll pay you well for if you can help them take out, kill all those evil creatures. We got to get rid of them. My wife and kids want to move up here, and we can't do that with all these things.
So I'll go take a look at this piece of paper and see what type of monsters are on there.
All right, let me see. I think I have somewhere. I thought I had a handout for it, but it may not be. It may be a note. Let's see. Bounty. Well, I know it's there. I'm having trouble finding it. But while I'm looking for this, any of the rest of you guys have anything you would like to do? Anyone?
I think as long as we figure out, the prices of the bounty and then find out the right direction to go, let's go. Right? Evil begets evil. Let's go knock it out.
Absolutely. Captain Black agrees completely with that sentiment. He's like, man, we got to kill them all. There ain't no good evil thing on this planet. We need to take them all out so we can just, build a city here. I would love to live here in this nice, on this hillside, looking down on all the farms that we could, make with all this rich farmland. We just need to get rid of all these evil do-gooders, or evil doers. Yeah, that's the word. I'm sorry. I'm looking for this thing while I'm trying to talk. Sorry. Oh, where is it?
Do-evilers.
Do-evilers. Actually, let me look at the PDF. I can probably find it there. Oh, where did I put him? Evil do-gooders. What the hell was I thinking?
Well, no, I was just thinking that's probably what the bad guys think about us. Those damned evil good doers.
Yeah. Let's see. Where am I? I know it's here somewhere. My new computer is not set up exactly like my old one either, so it's making it. There we go. Single page. Yes. Where is it? Table Table. I know it's in it somewhere. Well, unfortunately, I can't find it. But what you'll find is it lists out the bounty for kobolds, for ogres, for orcs, for other sundry creatures. You know, some of them it just says unknown, and it just puts there's a question mark where the reward is. But in the case of like ogres, it's like 5 gold for an ogre, and for orcs it's like 5 silver, and for kobolds it's like 1 silver. Goblins are 2 silver. So
who's paying this bounty?
Captain Black, the guy you guys were talking to. And I will make up this. I will put this bounty thing somewhere. I'll have it in a form that you guys can see before our next game. But if there's something even more powerful than ogres, orcs, goblins, and kobolds, actually the owlbear, we'll put owlbear in there, and that'll be 20 GP. Actually, that'll be 100 GP. And actually, the ogre is going to be 25 GP. I'm underestimating the deadliness of some of these. Goblins are 2 SPs, and the kobolds are 1 silver piece. And you need to bring back proof. In the case of kobolds, you can bring back their tail. A goblin has to be the left ear. If they don't have one, bring back the head. Ogres, same thing. Orcs and ogres. Owlbears, we'd like to see the whole thing if you can bring it back, because those things are pretty unique, but very deadly. So be careful if you run across one. They don't know if there is rumors of even darker and more deadlier things in the caves, but nothing has been confirmed other than that. And they also kind of, when you're speaking to Captain Black, he pulls out this map, and I'm going to show you this. And this will be your map. No, not that one. This will be something I will share that you guys can look at later. Borderlands. Nope, that's not it. Come on, close. Oh, please don't tell me I just closed Fancy Grounds. I did. Ugh, I'm an idiot. Well, you know what? It is 10:15. I wanted to close it at 10:30. So I accidentally just closed Fancy Grounds by accident, guys. I'm sorry about that. So what I'll do is, what I'll have set up next time is I will set up have you guys see the map of the region. It's an overland region, and when you look on it, you'll see in the northeast is where the keep is up the path, which strangely enough was also the direction that the kobolds that ran away went. There are also some other areas within the woods nearby that aren't the caves that are also known. Like there's a swampy area to the southeast where there's rumored to be even lizard men, and maybe even there's a forest with spider webs, massive spider webs all over the place. And so you guys can explore those if you'd like. But they say they'll let you look at this map whenever you want, and when we play next week, I'll make sure to share it so you guys can have it.
Cool. We should try to make a copy of it.
Yeah, see you next week then.
Yeah. And sorry about the abrupt end. I was trying to close the map and it closed the whole thing. I hit the wrong X. I'm still not used to FGU yet. Sorry.
It's all right, man.
No
it was
worries
fun
at
times.
all. Yeah.
I tell you what,
I killed 3 kobolds tonight. That's good.
You did, man. You're the savior of the